welcome to iPhone Chef. I'm Tammy Cornett. Tonight we're going to do a traditional hot brown from the Brown Hotel in Louisville. Now the first thing you want to do is find a nice thick white loaf of bread. I've got a homemade one here. I'm going to cut it really thick. Now traditionally you cut the crust off, but this has just come out of the oven, and what I'm going to do is make iron skillet toast. This is absolutely the best toast you've ever had. You take real butter, put you a tablespoon in there, you take your bread, you saturate both sides of it, and then you let it toast on both sides. You got to flip it a few times. No big deal. Gets it really, really good and brown though. So now I've already done a few pieces. I've got them here on my plate. I'm going to take some plum tomatoes or Roma tomatoes and set those right down on the side. And then I'm going to start layering. The first thing I'm going to use is some boar's head turkey, a nice big thick piece from Gidelli. I'm going to lay that on top. Now I really like ham on mine. Traditionally the recipe doesn't call for that. This ham is from Finchville Farms and it gives it absolutely a wonderful taste. Now one thing that I've got to do is make a Mornay sauce. And what I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to tell you what goes into it because it takes quite a bit of time to do that. I've got one already finished right here. Now, this has taken me about 10 minutes to whip this up. What you do first is you take 6 tablespoons of butter, 6 tablespoons of flour, and you melt that butter first, and then you start pouring that flour in a little at a time. The whole time you've got to stir. You've got to stir the whole time you're making the Mornay sauce. Once it gets mixed up real good, then you take a quart of heavy whipping cream. Now, this meal is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of calories here, but it is absolutely fantastic, and it is the one meal I make where you don't have to make anything else to go with it. After you add that quart of heavy whipping cream into it, you get it to a real nice blend, good consistency like this, and then you take a cup of cheese. Traditionally, Romano cheese is what you use. I've used a little Romano cheese, half and half actually. Romano and Kenny's cheese, a little bit of his cheddar, his white cheddar. It makes a really nice mix. I dumped it in here and then tasted it. And I decided it needed just a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar, and I added that to it. Just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. This is one of the few things that I cook that it doesn't actually have sugar in it, so it threw me for a loop there. So I mix it up, I keep it going real good till it gets real smooth like this. And then you take that. I like to use a measuring cup. I pull me a half a cup out of there and just pour it right over top of there. Now, you know what? That's not enough, because with a hot brown, you've got to make sure everything on the plate is covered with this Mornay sauce. Once you get that, oh, now we're getting just perfect there. Once you get it totally covered, what you want to do is take your whole plate and stick it in the broiler. And it takes about a minute, minute and a half. Keep a good eye on it. And now when it comes out, what you want to do, it'll look like this. You want to look like this right here. You want to take 2 strips of bacon and put those right on top. I've used some real nice thick country bacon. And now pretty much we're ready to eat. That's all it takes. About an hour to whip up a really good traditional hot brown. Google hot brown. The first recipes you're going to find is going to be the one that all of us in Kentucky use. I'm Tammy Cornett. I'm Kentucky Proud. I'm the iPhone Chef. Join us next week.